Hello students, welcome to Potential Businesses. So students, in this tutorial we'll be discussing another case. Okay, so we have been discussing about the various case studies of various functions of management. So now also we'll be discussing another case. Okay, so as I have already told you before that before we proceed to any cases, the first thing is that we need to study the questions or the bottom line of the case. Bottom line usually in the bottom line of the case, their question is written there. So let us see what is the case here. Which source of recruitment the company should rely upon? See, the question is very clear. Which source of recruitment? Either it can be internal source of recruitment or it can be external sources of recruitment. Internal sources of recruitment, if we prefer, then our choice of candidates or our choice of selection will be very much reduced. Okay, because we need to select internally from among the employees, from among the handful number of employees, from among the very little number of employees that we have. Okay, so if this question is related to something which is related to very high-tech activities, then we have to prefer for external sources of recruitment. If not, so as to satisfy our internal, so as to satisfy our own people or our own employees, then we can prefer our internal sources of recruitment. Okay. Next question is that which method of training should that company initiate? That means there are various methods of training. Either it can be training, it can be on the job training or off the job training. Out of that, which method of recruitment is preferable? We need to select it. Okay. So now let's go to the question now. We have discussed the questions. So now let's go to the case now and try to discover the keywords there. A company X Limited is setting up a new plant in India. That means X Company Limited is not a company in India. It's a foreign company coming to India. Okay, for manufacturing auto components. India has highly competitive and cost-effective production base in this sector. Now you see, a company X Limited is a foreign company, but the activities in which the company X used to deal with, the same activities India is already having. And in the cases with India, the existing companies of India, they are very highly competitive and cost-effective production. They have a very cost-effective production base. Okay. Next you see, X Limited is planning to capture about 40% of the market share of India and also export to the tune of rupees $5 million in about 2 years of its planned operation. That means X Limited is coming to India with a very big demand, with a very big view. Okay, they are planning to export to the extent of rupees $5 million within 2 years. So this is must not be an ordinary company. To achieve this target, it requires a highly trained and motivated workforce. Okay, so here you see the main part of the question. These two questions. The answer to these two questions will be given by this line, only this line. To achieve this target, it requires a highly trained and motivated workforce. Okay, that means to have a highly trained and motivated workforce, we always need to prefer external sources of recruitment. Whenever we give a advertisement, either in the print media or either in the screen media, or any other, we go for direct recruitment or any other type of recruitment, we go from some employment agencies. In that cases, we will be getting a huge base of employees or huge base of probable candidates. That is why, in order to recruit probable candidates to X Limited, which is a foreign company, we need a very highly skilled and competitive workforce. That is why the answer to the first question, which source of recruitment should that company rely upon? The source of recruitment that the company should rely upon is about the external sources of recruitment. Clear? Next question here you see. Which method of training should the company initiate? So usually what happens? X Limited is coming from a foreign country. Okay. So it is setting up a new plant in India. That means obviously it must be a foreign company. Since it is a foreign company, the machineries or activities must also be from a foreign land. In that case, we need to go for vestibule school of training. Under vestibule school of training, a model of the foreign machines will be made, and the employees will be made to get trained in that new model of that new machine. Okay, so that they are not allowed to use directly the machines, the actual machines, because if they use directly the actual machines, they can cause some damage to that machine. That is why a model of a machine is prepared, so that the employees will be getting the required skill to do that particular work with that model only. So the answer to that question number 2 is that which method of training should the company initiate? The company should initiate upon vestibule school of training, so that the Indian employees will be accustomed, will be trained, will be skilled with the new machines and technologies that X Limited is bringing to India from abroad. Okay, so that's all about the case. I suppose this video is some useful to you, and if you think that this video is useful to you, please don't forget to like the video. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.